I mean, he played Venge in game 1, right? Like, to me, that's the one that, like, you could make plays on, you could swap people out. There goes the bet, so here comes...
That's the thing, I think Bambo's... I mean, you could still see in that Venge game, he was trying to like aggressively swap to start fights off, but he's now playing that 5-position kind of fameless support
I'm not
role.
saying he can't play Silencer.
Yeah,
it's just, like, not within his comfort zone, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, that's the whole thing, is him having to adjust his play style to fit this new position. If he's going to do it, or if he's going to make the Bambo play.
Who knows? Maybe the entirety of Geek Fam is adjusting to him.
That's a possibility.
Like, go, guys, go. Let's
That's
get
like,
some
I
kills.
remember when Jimmy was on TnC and they smoke ganked into the enemy base, and I was like, all right, that's the Jimmy influence. He's done it. And then I think I saw Rose do it also. 1437.
Oh man, at Shanghai, I remember this play where they got bottom racks, and TnC like smoked up as a whole team. I was like, oh, where they're going? They ran to the bot racks that wasn't there anymore, and Rose dropped the ward, got bottom racks. I'm like, the TnC and TnC like smoked up. And TnC like smoked up as a whole team.
Geek Fam
I was like, oh, where they're going? They ran to the bot racks that wasn't there.
Well, if there's an Oracle game, this is it though.
Look,
like, you got Purge for Earth Spirit and Batrider. This is like the best for it possible, but...
I feel like that's what every team thinks when they pick up Oracle, though. And then
that's true.
When an Oracle game happens, and
I'm
stats
more
don't
okay
lie.
with it if a Silencer is banned. I think the hero can actually function. Within that Batrider Silencer game, the hero just doesn't get to use his spells. And if you're an Oracle not able to use your spells, why'd you pick the hero?
Yeah.
There it
You know,
is.
Silencer ban. You know, this Oracle is already looking more promising.
Well, they also banned the Huskar on the other side, which of course is that cheese of.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure Bambo's already saying, idiots. I'm the best. I was never going to pick Silencer anyways. Can you picture that?
I don't know. I haven't met the guy before.
What accent was
I'm
that,
the
by
best.
the way?
That's what he's thinking.
Where's Sexy Bambo from? Well, what accent was that?
Isn't he from
It
Holland?
was me.
He's
Very
Dutch,
bad accent.
but
He's
he
Dutch,
doesn't
yeah.
sound Dutch.
Okay.
I don't know how I'd describe his accent.
So the other combos with Oracle are like a DP, and then the other hero that I always really like to see on TnC is Cuckoo, Tinker. But I don't know if they would necessarily go for either of those. It feels like if you're picking Oracle, you definitely want to, you know, heavily prioritize like a big hero that you take care of. Maybe it's okay, Joe, just with the Purge.
I mean, that's the thing. I think any carrier mid is going to be happy to have an Oracle behind him to save him from a lasso, whatever that hero may be, even if it's just a Lina or something kind of standard. That's kind of the big mid hero that still stands out to me, still in the pool. It's Geek Fan with last pick, so I think if you're TnC, picking up that Lina early is fine because your mid hero is going to get counterpicked regardless when your opponents have last pick, so picking the Lina is not going to reveal too much.
Now, I kind of like what TnC's doing here, and whether they're doing it on purpose or not, I guess, is up for debate, but you notice that they've only used 3 seconds of their reserve time, and when you have a team on the other side that had that penalty and is only down to a minute from the beginning, you could say that's a valid strategy where you just do your picks quickly to put them, you know, thinking.
For sure. I feel like if I'm a captain and I see that limited reserve time, I'm like, guys, if we can think fast, we do it. But
down to 30 seconds. They're not afraid to use that extra time, and they're going to go Crystal Maiden.
But at the same time, you say if TnC can draft using their reserve time, then Geek Fam can as well.
Yeah, exactly,
That's kind of
fair.
I guess, the logic there. So they put it on Geek Fam's side. Take a CM. Nothing much. Bambo CM. How does that strike you as far as Bambo heroes looming?
Not a Bambo hero at all. You know, back in when he was playing off lane, he was playing at least a 4. He would go for all of these mobility items, blink, 4-stab, Yules on his like Sand King or Shaker. So seeing him moving at 275 starting at minute 1 was not the play.
He's a new man, you know.
Just buy like stack Windlaces, it'll be fine.
Stack Windlace is a strat, man.
It's great.
Is it though?
It's really good too this game with the Earth Spirit and the Batrider. Like they're going to be able to do so much more with this. All right, and Cuckoo Quap, he's made some pretty sick plays on this one as well. Another lane dominator.
Yep. Like again, you don't have to save your mid pick when your opponent's going to counter pick it regardless. I mentioned the Lina, the Quap. Similar thing, doesn't have too many awful matchups.
4th pick here for Geek Fam coming out. We mentioned the Drow ban there with that silencer, so not an option for Geek Fam if that's what they're thinking, perhaps.
And they may just want to grab the Lina, but we'll see. Yeah.
Bam.
There you go.
Boom, boom.
Lina pickup coming out. So why did you like the pick? Just the matchup against Quapper?
Oh
Fantastic.
God, he's died.
He doesn't like the hero
Rip gods.
Came at that time. It's probably the best mid laner at the moment, I'd say. Most
Okay.
well-rounded mid laner. It's always pretty much a good hero. I think I would prefer TnC to pick it over the Quap, but for Cuckoo, it's a bit more comfort on the Queen of Pain.
We get an Omni Knight here.
Okay.
I like this.
Repel.
Uh,
You don't like Repel?
I just don't like the lack of disable. If you pick Oracle and Omni Knight together, and then like a mid laner with no stun or anything.
It's very defensive.
we saw in the last game what can
Yeah.
happen when Sand King's your only stun, and then you've got all these other heroes. You're entirely relying on this Sand King to have a good game, which that Sand King did in the first 10 minutes. But then after that, it was like, well,
Well, it
Yeah,
was
I think-
worse in that game because it was like Venom and Viper. Like they
Yeah.
had nothing going on. Queen
Queen
of
of
Pain
Pain
could at
is
least
mobile,
get
yeah.
in there and do that.
she doesn't have a disable, but she makes up for the lack of disable by being able to like blink, chase,
Sure,
and not
yeah.
get kited or anything.
Like she
like
could also
that.
like build disable like Orchid or whatever.
Sure.
I do want to mention that the Oracle and Queen is actually like a decent combo. Like for example, if let's say you have a Sven that gets False Promise, but he just gets CC nonstop after the False Promise, you're still dead. Queen, once you like debuff her with False Promise, she's out with the blink if she wants to be. So it's really a good save. And now you add Omni on top of that. TnC could be extremely durable.
See, I
to
think
fight.
that's the argument, though. Isn't that overkill? That they threw an Omni Knight in there.
Yeah, you have two heroes that have a
Yeah.
similar function. I think the other Omni purpose is to pressure the lane. He's very good. He's a hero that benefits a lot from getting farm, but
Yeah.
I worry if it's going to be too greedy. We saw Geek Fan play very fast-paced. They did have the Drow that game in their opening game and put a lot of pressure, and I feel like Omni's a hero that is a bit too passive, just doesn't really do much other than sit in his lane, get some farm, try and pressure the carry, but you can now pick a carry that matches up well against Omni. You can't pick Ursa, but we'll see what else they have in mind as far as dealing with it. Because it does feel like TnC's ability to make plays is going to be built around the Sand King and the Queen of Pain once she gets levels and farm.
PA. I was just thinking right off my feet there. I don't know.
Razor against Omni, so it's like the lane, get a hero that can lane against Omni, farm, doesn't need support's help, so this means CM can jungle a bit, Ursa Spirit can roam. That was the idea with the Ursa ban as well. Ursa would have been very good against Omni and could have been left alone.
Yeah, I mean, I see the Oracle, I see the Omni Knight. I think if Fate Cedix and Repel, as you guys have been mentioning, it's going to be very good this game. So I was trying to think of maybe just a heavy physical hero instead. And
I think Razor can be that hero. I think I like GeekFam's draft more. I love TnC's team. I think that they're the strongest team in this qualifiers, but I think GeekFam might have the tools to take this. It's going to depend a lot upon the Earth Spirit and like being able to get that silence and blow up Omni Knight at the start of the fight, either like through him or the Bat Rider. One of those two need to do it, and then you take out one of the defensive supports. But I think that GeekFam has the lineup to do it.
is that your pick?
That's my pick. I'm going
All right.
crazy.
Sticking to it. Lumi?
I'm gonna go with TnC here. Same situation as the last game where like Sand King needs to be the ace man to do a lot. But I feel like Tim's is a caliber player that can pull that off. Cuckoo being there able to help out with that very mobile mid is also gonna be there. Like they have repel quap, blink in and blow stuff up.
Yeah.
So I think that's extremely powerful. And I think they are the better team here, so I'm gonna go with TnC.
I agree with both of them is the thing. I think the draft, I like GeekFam's draft a bit better. I don't think they heavily outdraft them, but with Lumi, I think they're the better team. I think Cuckoo on Quap can just solo carry this game through individual plays with a little help from Sand King. And I think that's the kind of like player-hero combo that sets you up for success.
All right, well, thanks, Lyrical. Lumi, for joining us on the panel there. We got game coming up, though, TnC versus GeekFam. Myself, Rick CBK, and joined by Gods here for this one. Into the game we go now. So coming off that pause to start things, but movement has begun. Way down here is Raven on that Juggernaut. You know, something, yeah, we didn't really talk too much about that Juggernaut final pick from TnC, but you think it's never really a bad option, right? He's just one of those, why not Juggernaut here?
Yep. And one of the nice things against Bat is if you see him like blink lasso you, if you can get that Blade Fury off before the lasso, you're pretty good at staying alive. See him at mid. Uh-oh.
That's in range. Now, do they have the follow-up? This is what we stressed about their lineup. Lack of crowd control. Well, they have more than enough there for the level 1.
And Quap gets it.
That's big,
That's
yeah.
bad, yeah. Well, bad for Geek Fan. Big for TnC.
And the bounty root on top of that, so well on his way to that. In fact, he already bought the healing salve. Going to have that delivered out.
Yep. She's already got pieces for a Null Talisman, the second Null Talisman being built, so this lane advantage for Queen of Pain going to be fairly significant. And Tim's on the Sand King gets to burrow his way back to base and heal up, so he's still going to be full HP, full mana for the level 1 shenanigans.
Now, I guess the slight benefit here is that the sentry is going to be able to counter ward in the middle lane. That was placed right there eventually once Lina most likely goes to that middle lane. We'll see that, but still. First blood in favor of TnC. Going to have to deal with that extra farm on Cuckoo now on Quap.
Other good news is the 1437 D-Ward missed the pull camp, so they won't have access to use that small pull, which is always something important to have when you're being pressured in lane, which is happening. They're going to send Razor down bottom, give Batrider the 1v1 against Omni Knight, so we'll see how they deal with this kind of aggression in lane.
Yeah, Crystal made it, Earth Spirit and the Razor all shaping up like they're going to go down here. Oracle going to realize that the camp is blocked. You see the pings coming out immediately as the 30-second hits, but Crystal Maiden not going to join for the time being, going to do some jungling instead. Let's see what kind of farm Raven's able to get against Psionics here. On that Razor middle lane, we have Sand King nearby, but not going to do too much yet.
It's nice for CM to try to get that level 2 very quickly before going to lane, so she's going to try and just get that, or at least kill a couple of big creeps and get close to it before either heading down bottom or somewhere else. But bottom lane, they are going in. Psionics may just die here. Looks like the Blade Fury, the Fortune's End, that's just... Sand King didn't even help for that. It is a big problem.
And now Earth Spirit's actually going to get caught too. Fortune's End, there's that Burrow Strike, and now Sand King will help for that, but going to cost him his life in return. There's no way he's getting out of this one. No Sandstorm yet or anything like that, so something.
Probably not worth it for the Sand King to die for that kill, but still overall a good trade for TnC. The 2-for-1 still favors them, and it's not the end of the world as they get an extra kill. As this bottom lane is looking like already it's going to be really tough for Geek fam. CM gets level 2, but that just gives you aura. You don't suddenly have both your nukes, so they're still not all that strong in this bottom lane. CM is not a hero that wants to aggro a tri-lane typically just because of her slow movement speed. Anytime you get caught, you're almost certainly going to be going down.
Here comes that Smoke Ink attempt in the middle lane between Sand King and Oracle. Ping on top of them almost as if they knew that they were here, but Lina kind of checks it out and now actually going to get caught. Fortune's End, roots are in place. LSA right on top. Burrow Strike still connects though. And just a matter of time before Teehee will fall. In fact, Rose on Oracle, credit for the kill, but very good roam.
Yeah, and they did it as the creep waves under the tower. They didn't even take tower damage till the very end. And they also did it at the 2-minute stage, knowing that the Lina was likely going to go check the rune. Even pre-bottle, you want to grab those runes if you get like a DD rune or something that can kind of find an early pick or give you an advantage, help you get some last hits. You're going to try and snag those. So they time that at the perfect time to find that kill.
Juggernaut, level 3 now. Again, already able to get that poor man shield early on, and that kill on Razor that he got definitely helping with that. As far as creep farm, only 5-0, but kill added in, definitely making a lot more sense as to how. Tim's static link on him. He's going to Burrow Strike, but he's not really the furthest away, and no, it's not enough damage from the plasma field. Just out of range. One more auto attack would have definitely done him in, but good job getting away. Now Raven actually going to pressure out the supports, knowing that they used quite a bit already.
Yep.
Keep them safe.
So we'll see this bottom lane start to swing back the way of Geek fam. Now that they've got all 3 heroes down here, they've got the static link going on the Razor. This is not an easy lane for Jug to kind of move up and farm in. We may just see TnC say, look, our Jug's not going to farm, let's keep getting kills elsewhere. Let's look to make plays around this mid lane, get Queen of Pain a big advantage. She's already leading the Lina in CS by a decent margin. And that can definitely continue with another support rotation.
What about Omni Knight too? I mean, creep farm wise, Velo's doing a great job at 18-3. Now it gets to 92 Omni Knight, but just saw Omni Knight right there, just literally running at Batrider, auto attacking, and obviously there's not much Bat can do about that. So seems like a pretty good matchup for Omni Knight, especially with these levels now. Yeah,
it looks like for now Bat's been winning the lane, but given the Bat's current HP, that's going to change. And I like what Sand King said. He's come top, he's taken the bounty rune, which meant that Batrider couldn't refill his bottle. He went for this bottle build, trying to rely on the constant sustain and the ability to refill it, and he doesn't get that.
Yeah, that is clutch, because now Vela's going all the way back to base. So again, very good heads up right there by Tim's on that Sand King. I'm going to send him all the way back, and Omni Knight just having an absolute free farm now.
He's
the top lane.
He's a half level ahead in experience, so even though Batrider is going to have a CS lane going to be just TPing back in, it is Omni Knight with at least an advantage in some other ways.
Earth Spirit's sitting in the middle lane this whole time. It is nighttime currently, so Cuckoo Not necessarily any clue unless he got some kind of information early on. Don't believe he did. But they're going to wrap around now, smoked up, him and Sexy Bamboo on Crystal Maiden. Just a matter of time before they catch up to him, and will they have the rotation here? They definitely have the stun lockdown. It's just a matter of lining it up one after the other. I mean, he's at half life, so yeah, if they get that Frostbite off, here we go. The Frostbite level 1. No, he does not go in. And Cuckoo is hiding behind the trees. Okay, there we go. Now they're going to dive in completely, but he got the blink off.
Did he not get the ball? I guess it's only 0.75 seconds stun, so yeah, he got the blink out and gets away. That is very costly considering how many heroes they invest into that top lane. Velo almost dies.
Yeah. At the tail end of that one, and all of a sudden he's just about to have one auto attack away from dying, but actually managed to live. TP in there from Lina, or excuse me, from Crystal Maiden. It's preventing that. But yeah, you got to wonder if they really stagger the stuns the best with all three of them right there. But again, the LSA just not able to land. Bottom lane, Psionic. Now, he had the static link that whole time onto Juggernaut, but the spin makes it not really care.
Yep.
Still plenty of damage.
That's where this Razor versus Strug matchup, yeah, when you're just last hitting, Razor, great, you get the damage and all that, but if you get gone on, that does not help against the Jug. You just Blade Fury on through you.
So 5-1 start here.
Yeah, TnC are just playing this lane stage very well. The rotations, the Oracle going mid with the Sand King going top alone. Their supports have just been a lot more active and effective with all their movements, whereas it just feels like Geek fam, they went for this aggro lane with Razor, but like CM wasn't there at level 1, as I don't think she should be, but the Razor dies before the CM even arrives. They just seem to have struggled to execute their laning stage properly.
Yeah, so Razor now at the top lane, pushing it out here, but Omni Knight again, level 6 even, hitting that mark. He's holding on to that point
lane.
currently.
Oh, no, Cuckoo won't get the kill. Sand King rotated under the tower looking for a burrow on the Earth Spirit, but Earth Spirit was very quick to roll away.
Omni Knight's going to be run down again by that static link of Razor, but just going to be out of range to put nearly enough pressure onto him as it eventually ends.
They swap up their lane, sending the Razor top and the bat bottom. It feels like that's Geek fam saying, yeah, these lanes aren't working, let's adjust them.
Which makes sense, but, you know, will this now be the answer is definitely the question. Well, they're going to find Rose, actually, and that's should be a free kill here, LSA. And the Dragon Slave to finish it, so nice find. At least a kill for Lina to help her get back at this Queen of Pain and try to climb up there and stay on top of the net worth chart, up there at least with her. As the couple of Null Talismans finished, but yeah, boots here on Queen of Pain also picked up with the Lina. Yeah, it's apparently a lag spike here. But
had a few pop up here and there periodically in these servers, but they seem to disappear.
Arcane Boots already finished on Omni Knight. Now, he's not a hero that necessarily like you rotate early on at level 6 and set up kills with, but well, what does he do here?
He's the like 5-man teamfight hero, similar to like what a Darkseid does. He's very strong with levels and farm. And the idea is, like you say, you just kind of sit there, you're not looking to rotate him all too much, hold a TP scroll in case your opponents dive you or anything, but he's a very reactionary hero. He's not going to lead a gank like an off lane, like Sand King or Clockwork does. Clockwork, you get level 6, you go gank. Omni, unless there's a tower dive, his teammates normally come to him rather than him going to the teammates.
Yeah. Well, bottom lane Raven, Omni Slash is ready, but not really having the opportunity to use it here. Keep that in mind as the game progresses on. Crystal made a level 4, rotating through the jungle by herself currently. Seemed like could have been a little bit of danger right there as TnC was hunting, but they got a pretty aggressive ward down and unfortunately can't find anyone. That's because as we see, they're all at the bottom lane. They want to kill this Juggernaut down here.
Hasted Lina coming in to help.
Oh, he didn't even spin either. He gets hit by the Dragon Slave, but now he's going to spin just to go behind the tower. So LSA, that was a tough one to land.
And top lane, this is kind of what Omni Knight can do. By himself, he has the support up there now looking for a kill, but he's just going to pressure this tower. He's going to creep, skip waves, heal himself up, and look to take this tower. Lina wanting the deny, or actually the kill at top. Will not get it.
Auto attacks, it's enough. No, it's not.
6 HP.
Oh man, so low.
Wow. That Sam H he went for the tower. He stopped running away to last hit the tower.
Yeah.
Then ran away with 6 HP. That took some guts to actually take that last hit.
Cojones right there. He did the math though, I'm confident. And thus he survives. Now Sand King gonna try to get some experience at the top lane. A little bit of a farm himself. Not that he's doing poorly, but Of course, Blink is on his mind, I'm sure. 400 gold saved up. Speaking of that, Batrider looking to finish the drum. So this has been a theme throughout today, especially. I mean, I want to say it's not necessarily something we see all the time at Batriders, but what do you think of all the drums that we're seeing first item on such hero?
It's, I think, just differs game to game. If you feel like things going... Oh, yeah, I think the drums can always be fine on the hero just because the blink is like very early. If you go for this blink rush with just brown boots or something,
yeah,
you've gone this build where you have to immediately smoke up with your team, find kills and stuff. You're kind of in this mindset where there's only one thing the hero does with the drums. You can use it just to constantly farm lanes. It gives you mana regen. It helps your team out in terms of team fight, and it's just a more balanced item.
Bottom lane, Queen of Pain diving onto Razor, Sand King here as well. Pearl Strike goes through. Yeah, do catch him. CM ported in, but really not much that she can do. And that Omni Slash going to bounce between the two. Gets one at her Spirit. Nope, the Sonic Wave, that was a little unfortunate because it didn't really hit anybody as the target already died. But now Batrider takes a Pearl Strike, and Juggernaut goes back in. That Healing Ward is doing so much this fight, and it's going to keep Raven alive. Batrider goes down, and Raven will get healed on up by Oracle as well. TP in from Earth Spirit. I think it's too far away, though. He's going to turn around back here. Queen of Pain still getting kills. Cuckoo finally goes down, but TnC sticks around forever, and they end up a 4 for 2 in the end.
Yeah, the whole time Omni doing Omni things, just top lane, farming away. Actually going to go for a Midas, which I like. He's kind of on an island right now. He may as well just continue to farm, continue to get levels, but really good fight at bottom lane. Cuckoo had avenues to escape with his life and live, but he just wanted all the extra kills. Those last 2 kills he gets, he had mana to blink away and just escape with his life, but he didn't have a TP. Maybe just thought he'd get chased down anyway, so he's like, I'll get these kills, don't really care. Let's make a statement. And TnC do just that. When you're diving tier 2s, getting a 4 for 2 trade, you've got to feel really good. And you've also got this Omni hero off farming. Yeah, it's not a carry hero by any means, but it's a hero in the offlane that loves that kind of scenario to arise.
Yeah, the fact that that fight went so well for TnC without Omni Knight, I think is what the scary thing is for Geek Fan, because obviously what he brings with both the Repel, the Purification, then the Guardian Angel on top of it all. Once that goes up, good luck killing anyone in these fights. So it's going to be a difficult task. Bottom lane, speaking of killing Oracle, they end up doing it here unless he gets the support necessary. Puts the Fate's Edict on himself initially. Will eventually die here, but gets some nice damage out return on the Velo, but not enough follow-up from his teammates.
Yeah, things like there, having a Bracer and Windlace on your Batrider just make him a lot better at fighting. Without that Bracer, he's almost going down there. So he's just going for a lot more cheap, cost-effective items to make him more ready to take these engagements, whereas the Blink is a lot of money to save up for, to actually, before you can contribute. As it stands, I imagine TnC may just look to slow things down a little bit, get this Omni Midas going. Jug is probably just saying, like, guys, don't have Omni Slash up, let's just wait a little bit, chill. Things are going fine, let's just not start making overly aggressive plays like that again.
Speaking of Midas, as it's just finished by Omni Knight right there, Razor is also going for one of his own. Razor doesn't seem like as traditional of a Midas carry.
No, he's typically more let's fight early kind of carry.
Yeah.
Use the fact that you are fairly strong in the early game, but he is a hero that sometimes struggles and falls off because he doesn't have great farming, so I think similar to a Viper, you'll sometimes see this Midas just to kind of guarantee you more of a late game presence. And this Razor is paired with Alina, which does scale well, but I think it's not like a SFTA type right-clicking carry, so it may just feel like, yeah, I'm going to go for this Midas and be more of the late-game hero, while Alina, not going for a Bloodstone build, is Rusty Shadowblade. Teehee is going to be going for like the early rotation, so this frees up Psionics to be a bit greedier.
I feel like it's been a while since we've seen this kind of build, man. And usually it's the Bloodstone, if anything, the Yields. Bottom lane, Batrider, though, just simply got jumped by the Sand King, hiding in the trees. No blink even needed. Queen of Pain and Juggernaut both there to follow. Omni Slash is saved by Raven. So still able to use that if a possible fight coming up right here. T opens with that Shadow Blade, newly purchased, sets up an easy kill on a Raven, and that's a streak stopper on top of that, so already getting plenty of value out of that item right off the bat. This big kill Juggernaut right there. Middle lane, meanwhile, Omni Knight repelled up, and he'll just walk away. That's what he can do. So a little bit of a distraction right there. But yeah, the Hand of Midas is now being delivered, at least to Razor. But yeah, so going back to the Lita once again, obviously now with what happened right there, of course it proves to be good, but yep, is that the best choice?
I think it's fine. It's an item you need, almost like to gank a Jug. You can't use because he's going to Blade Fury. You're maybe in a position where you just want to, they feel like they want to be able to kill either, and same with the Corp. I think both these heroes, if you want to catch them, they've both got good escapes, the Blade Fury or the Blink, so having a Shadow Blade as a surprise factor can be very good. the response from TnC has to be pick up sentries, pick up dust ASAP. They smoke up here, but if they find this Lina, they actually haven't got any detection on them for the time being.
Well, they're going to find Batrider as well, but TimZ is unable to get close enough for the Burrow Strike. Firefly causing that issue, and instead you have to settle with not happening. Middle lane, though. Raven goes down again to Lina. It looks like there might have been another Shadow Blade opening, if anything. And he finishes it.
Kill, though, looks like.
Yep, Fortune's End. That'll be a streak star for themselves. Sonic Wave cuts out. False Promise on a Sand King as the Epicenter chooses as well. But may even want to save it for the Queen of Pain. Never mind. Here comes Omni Knight Purification Heal. And TimZ definitely surviving through that one. So 2-for-1 exchange. 2 for 2, I guess, because, yeah, Oracle was picked off as well in the midst of that. But I still can. Geek Fam, I think, wins that, right? Because Juggernaut, a second death on him.
Yeah, it's kind of tough because Lina's like the most farmed here on the Dire side, so I think the Lina's the bigger kill than the Jug in some ways, but definitely even-ish. As far as I think it's more what Geek Fam can look to get out of it. If they can keep finding these pickoffs and start getting some momentum. The problem is they're finding these kills but never turning it into towers, whereas you look at TnC, they've taken all 3 tier 1 towers. The Omni did took top kind of alone. The mid lane's just been slowly chipped at. The bottom lane was kind of a team effort. The fact that Geek Fam aren't getting any towers while finding pickoffs is the big issue for them. And that the Lina Shadowblade doesn't help them push or out lanes. It just helps find pickoffs, but that's not going to help turn this game around. So at some point they need to find a kill and turn it into a pick. That probably comes more from the Batrider getting a Blink Dagger.
Well, 900 gold save job, so he wants that. He ran into Oracle right there even by himself, but thinking better of trying anything, and he TPs away, so a little bit of time before that's going to happen. Razor, though, again, going to hand of Midas. Going to use it right there, but still a bit of time before you wanted to make too much happen in this game, or you can, frankly. If you're Geek Fam, Sand King bottom lane, he falls back. He does have his own Blink Dagger now being purchased. And in his stash here, Repel's put up on Quap, and this is where she's so deadly. With Repel, like, they can't stop her.
Yep.
Runs into them.
Snag a rune. We'll see Alina scout everything out with this Shadow Blade.
Oh, including the Invis use.
Do they have any way of turning this around? I don't really think so. They're probably just going to scurry the hell out of here.
Cuckoo, I feel like something crazy is about to happen.
There's a good chance if Cuckoo's involved, something either amazing or potentially a bit throwy could happen at any moment.
Sonic Wave is up in 5 seconds, so we'll see if he tries to make a play with it. But, yeah, not going to get the chance over there at least. Meanwhile, top lane. Juggernaut trying to find some farm, but maybe getting a little too comfortable in the Dire jungle.
Oh, yeah. Shadowblade coming his way, and he's going to Blade Fury TP. Smart. He knew he was pushing his limit of being alone in this top lane, so he's just like, one more wave and I'll just put myself in a position where I can TP away. Bat doesn't have a blink, which he's probably fairly confident in knowing, so good safe call, and his team is pressuring bottom lane while all this is going on.
Yeah, he got that confirmation too, as obviously Lina cleared up the creep wave right after he TP'd out, so smart decision indeed, and nice job getting it confirmed even. Bottom tier 2 tower, Omni Knight leading the way. Has Guardian Angel, in fact, has level 2 of it already. Hasn't even used it once just yet. A Hooded Defiance on top of that, so going to be going heavy priority into a pipe here, it seems like. And, I mean, that's a great item against the Dire side, so I guess it does make sense.
Yep.
From that perspective.
It's going to be very, very good for him. Raven to mid, another attempted gank, but these heroes are very elusive, hard to get on top of, and it's only going to get more difficult once that Manta is completed. It's going to give him a way out of, like, the Earth Spirit Silence, something to just pop to get going on.
They catch TimZ does catch Teehee, by the way, at the top lane. The dust comes out, and the Sonic Wave to put her in the grave and finish what they came for. So now Crystal Maiden trying to run away. That ain't going to work. This Blink Dagger, back-to-back kills. I do not know what Earth Spirit's thinking. He's like, I want a show, and he puts on the disco with the Magnetize.
That was a bit dubious.
That seemed a little silly, and he's, neutral kill? No, he does not get it. And we're still going, baby. We got a lasso and a Sand King. I don't know if that's what we want to be doing, though. Oh, jeez. The decisions of Geek Fam is falling apart right here. That should be a dead Batrider now. Oh, the cliff. He's making great use of that Fireflight.
Not sure where he's going to go next.
It's like, now what? Yeah, when you have such mobile heroes with the blink on Sand King and the blink, of course, of Queen of Pain, that seemed like 2 kills that were unnecessary.
Yeah, Earth Spirits was super weird. He just rolled into 4 heroes alone. The CM was obviously dead. The CM, she's got Blink Bar Strike. There's no saving her. That's just Earthspirit thinking, oh, I've got Magnetize. He probably had like full stone, so he thought he could dish out a lot of damage, but you're rolling into an Omni Knight. He's going to heal people. He's going to repel people. Oracle can Fortune purge stuff off. Like, that was super questionable from Earthspirit, from Raji, and then Bat, yeah, just didn't get out of there in time. That slows down the Blink Dagger timing. That really hurts Velo, who desperately needs to get that Blink up as soon as possible for the team.
Well, on the winning side here, or the team that's currently winning, I should say, a 7,000 net worth lead of TnC. I want to talk about the Omni Knight, going back to him. He actually picks up a mech now. I wanted to get your thoughts on that. Now, I thought with going the hood like that, that was almost him saying he was going to go right into the pipe. Now, he does end up getting the mech, and what do you think is better, more efficient, the Guardian Greaves or the pipe here?
It's one of those things where there's probably one that's a bit more efficient. It honestly probably doesn't matter. They're far enough ahead. It's one of those things where both are going to be good. The Greaves probably a bit better because it's going to solve his mana problems, which he's having a bit of right now. With the mech coming, he's going to have even more mana problems. So I feel like the Greaves may just be a solution to that, taking away that mana cost. But ultimately, I don't think it's too big of a deal.
Something else I just noticed too is Lena got her level 15 talent of 50 plus damage, but what is? Yeah, that's going to be a catch on. The Crystal made it way deep in the jungle.
That's where, like, one of those desperation farming places, just hoping there's no vision there, farm a creep wave or two, get out, but there was a weird, unusual, unexpected Radiant Ward actually spotting that one out.
Very defensive right there. But yeah, going back to Lena, she actually chose the other talent, the 80 Light Strike array damage over the cast range.
Makes sense with the Shadow Blade, because you're going to be getting on top of them anyways. TT at the top, he's fine.
It's actually going to TP out, but meanwhile, that's... They almost, you know what I think though? They like thought it was an illusion, but then like they went on that illusion right as he started spinning. So
I think the timing was that they hadn't realized that the top one was the real jug. So
yeah,
that's unfortunate. That was the Blink reveal as well. The mind games with those jug illusions from Raven managed to do some work, but yeah, the LSA damage, like having cast range when you can just Shadow Blade up to them, you don't need the cast range is the main thing. So I think it makes sense.
True.
You can also, I think, instantly clear waves with the LSA damage with your nuke combo, which is the other nice thing.
Yeah. Oracle. Brown boots, Aether Lens. It's an Aether Lens right here. That seems like a pretty good item for the hero for being able to position himself defensively even more.
Yeah, it was kind of like the bread and butter Oracle I used to always see, and I don't think much has changed too much with this hero. There's an argument for some games getting things like Force Staffs if you really need it, or Urns for your team if you want to buy one of those, but we'll see. Yeah, he's going to go back, pick up another pair of Arcane Boots, because they have got some mana issues on a few of their heroes, so this will definitely help out a bit for him.
22-minute Bloodstone. Now, again, he went the Shadow Blade first, did Lena, so makes a little more sense, but has a Bloodstone now. The 12 charges set to go, as he's going to push out the bottom lane, so again, that's really important to note now. What kind of momentum he gets off of it, or if he ends up dying here with said item. Queen of Pain. No, I was actually wondering about this. Where we're going to maybe see the Lincolns coming out from Quap, especially with that repel synergy. It's just this force that you thought you were already tough to stop. That was literally no way to stop you.
Yeah, I like the early Yules as well. Just like a kind of an aggressive, nice item to have. You can cancel some TPs if you can't do it yourself. And, yeah, this Queen of Pain's in a really good position to kind of, as mentioned, this is such a good game for a Quap just to be played and to just solo carry a game with the Omni Knights backing and the Sand King setup, and that's kind of exactly where Cuckoo is. He's top of the net worth. Definitely a scenario where I felt like this game was going to be much more about the Quap than the Jug, and it's kind of been like, they've let Jug be kind of independent for a lot of this game. Doesn't really mind if he gets ganked once or twice, but he will be the high ground sieging hero, which is maybe where his important role comes into play.
Speaking of sieging, they get a little bit of damage on that tier 3 tower, about 100 or so, before they fall back, make that decision. So not going to force any issue, but an 8,000 net worth lead at 23.5 minutes. You can be pretty comfortable about doing what you're doing. Blink Dagger on Earth Spirit is actually almost finished. Almost 2,000 gold saved up on him. I mentioned Batrider getting his key, but Earth Spirit is actually almost has his as well. So that's going to be a decent Earth Spirit timing of the Blink Dagger here, especially for a team that's behind. And thus helpful middle lane. They want to catch somebody. Who did they catch right there? That's going to be purged off immediately anyway, so it doesn't matter. And Sand King, they set up. They turn on the Crystal Maiden in the backlines, and they also end up killing the Batrider as well, the false promise. That's what it does.
Yep, that could set them up to actually break high ground and look for an early GG if there's no good defense of this one. The Batrider Lasso being on cooldown means even when Bat comes back to life, you haven't got your key initiator, and there's not much they've got up their sleeve to defend this one with. Omni is just so strong. There's the Greaves, as mentioned.
Oh, and the Dust offensively, they knew that she was going to be in the area. She ends up just denying herself.
Also the low respawn.
Now about 10 seconds, she'll be back up, but Guardian Angels comes out, the Burrow Strike on through, and Air Spirit's ton in the midst of that. Deacon is magnetized up, and Ray's just sitting here with a static link up this whole time, so his right click's actually become pretty dangerous at 224 plus damage, and Queen of Pain feels it. Feels the pain indeed, down for 50 seconds now as they're going to start retreating his TnC. The Laguna Blade also catches Juggernaut. They heal the last second with the Purification. Keeps him alive a little bit longer, but a couple more auto attacks from Teehee will do him in as well. And now they're going to catch Omni Knight. Well, this is Geek fam. They're going to not only hold, but get several important kills out of it, including Omni Knight.
Didn't use his Greaves. He had him back up. I think a lot of players are like used to that long mech cooldown. You get the Greaves just a lot shorter, but great hold. It does come off the back of Lena's Bloodstone. I think the very short respawn definitely caught TnC by surprise. It was like 15 seconds when she died before she came back up, and they use it to turn that fight around. TnC getting pretty deep to kill the Lena, and then by the time they're kind of just trying to leave the base, Lena's already back up, punished them, and now they're in the Roshan pits. It's quite the turn of events for Geek fam.
Yeah, 10-second BKB now finished on Razor. You have Lena with her own BKB is actually looking very nice. The Aegis picked up by Psionics right there as the Burrow Strike connects, but a hit Batrider. They get him killed pretty quickly. The Razor now caught as well. I guess they don't really have a stopper,
so
and
close.
he gets out.
If they get that kill, they get the Aegis, and then they killed Razor again. That would have been huge for TnC.
Yeah.
But definitely worth the Sonic Wave. It was very close with the level 3 ulti.
And he gets out, though, so the comeback possibility continues for Geek fam of again, the net worth climbing down a little bit. It was upwards almost 10,000. Now we're down about 6,000 here. In favor of TnC, which is definitely something you can most certainly come back from. And Earth Spirit has that blink, as I was mentioning.
Definitely a key item for your game as an Earth Spirit. He gets a gem as well for the team, so doing some dewarding, kind of focus on the map control aspect a bit more. And TnC will definitely have to slow things down a bit. Quap's Lincoln Sphere, perhaps the item though they may wait for before their next big move. They've got Jug with the Blink Dagger though, so they have got good follow-up to the Blink Sanking now with this tool. And both teams actually going to invest in a gem.
Yeah, the gem's being purchased, so trying to take control of the map right here. Speaking of that, TnC, the very offensive board in the Shrine area. And as far as for Geek fam, I guess they will have one over here at the top Shrine themselves, so similar warding spots for either side as far as information that it's providing. And Raven here with the Blink follow-up to go with the Manta style and actually going to, well, just farm with it here in the middle lane. But Diffusal's coming up next, but one of the mobility here instead.
It's just nice when you've got like the blinks work well in tandem. You've got an instant follow-up to a blink sanking stun, and just being able to, I think, maneuver around the map. You see it there, you use just a blink farm, you're actually moving around the map faster. Theoretically, it doesn't really slow down your farm at all. If anything, it maybe accelerates it compared to the diffusal instantly. So also just, again, you want to get, like when you blink stun Alina, you just want to instantly be blinking on her with your sanking, perhaps throwing an Omni Slash and getting that quick kill. So it's going to be a tough item to deal with this game.
Why do you think Razor is going to get Diffusal?
Guardian Angel, the big one. You
Okay.
can purge that off. Can't purge Repel anymore, but definitely good for the GA, because otherwise, yeah, you're dealing no physical damage. When you BKB, they're just going to Guardian Angel and 0 damage coming out.
Yeah.
Some of Oracle spells can also be dispelled, but not as big a deal. The Fate's Edict being the big one there, but not as big a deal for that.
Yeah, GA definitely the big focus, and Omni Knight going to be with his team as they make their way into that dire jungle on the right side.
Yep. Checking for wards, they just look to clear the map out of any vision whatsoever. We see only one dire ward up on the map, which comes on a kind of unexpected cliff spot. But for the most part, vision's going to be hard to maintain with gems on the playing field. Her Spirit's gem is still in his stash, but
that's a good point.
About that. He bought that a long time ago. That's a bit unusual that he hasn't brought it out. Should be on the Batrider, but I guess Bat was maybe waiting for his Force Staff before carrying it around. He's going to feel a lot safer with a Force.
That's true, that with the blink, then all of a sudden he's got a little bit more escape, can react a little bit better, so perhaps what they're waiting for.
This game's kind of slowed down a bit, mostly because Geek Fam got the Aegis. They're the team that's behind with the Aegis, so even though they've got it, they don't want to force a bad fight. And TnC, they've kind of got more map control, but they don't want to go high ground into an Aegis. So they feel like they've just got to farm the map, buy time for it to expire, and then we'll probably see their real big play happen around with it expiring. And it's pretty close to expiring. It's got a bit over a minute now, so they may start chipping at this mid lane, but more than anything, they're just trying to de-ward. They're checking every single clip. Sanking
really
clicks up. Is there a ward there? No. Move on. Put some wards down yourself. So we're seeing really good Radiant Vision planted on the map.
Well, the one ward that you mentioned earlier, that I mean, it's still up. They can't find it actually. So
This is still a pretty new ward spot, I think, in like context of seeing new ward spots develop.
Yeah.
Raven may die here top.
There we go. Lasso up. Laguna Blade could be used, and yes, it is a kill. Great find right there. Oracle gets in here as well as the Sand King with the Burrow Strike a little bit too late. Half a second or so. BKB on Lina. Used
Yeah, it was more the fact she used it. But actually, if she didn't use it there, I think the Blink Bar may have cancelled her TP and then bye-bye Lina. So, fair enough.
just to be safe. But yeah, picking up that item as a follow-up to her Bloodstone and coming into play somewhat there.
Yep. And theoretically, Lina's going to be played more as a right-click carry. You got the plus 50 damage, the plus 150 attack range, plus 50 damage, then 150 attack range. Shadowblade, BKB, these are like just kind of carry right-click items. We'll see Boots of Travel, and then probably see some like Bloodthorn type item or Daedalus, something to do some right-click damage picked up as her follow-up item would be my thoughts.
Juggernaut. Have to wait to resurrect now to finish off that Diffusal Blade, which he does right here. At least resurrects, that is. But only the robe away from making that purchase. Omni Knight, his own Forest Staff picked up, another 1,100 gold saved up. Again, the pipe is something that still could definitely see on him to upgrade that Hood of Defiance there. As Queen of Pain has that link in, so now another 1,900 gold saved up. I mean, I guess you could argue that maybe was the Lincoln's maybe a little bit too defensive now in hindsight.
The Lincoln's and Yule's is maybe the interesting one. Yule's is just nice because it's at such a cheap price point. It's very easy to build up to. Bamboo.
Just ulti to farm there.
Yeah, that's Bambo. He's the kind of plays he's kind of known for. He does these gutsy, ballsy things. He's one of he's normally playing the 3 and the 4, and will go off like make these aggressive moves, create space for his team, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I mean, in terms of the big picture, like he has created space for his team. It was like a 8K gold lead. It's now down to just like 3.5, 4K gold lead. Definitely is becoming a more even game as time goes on. So there's definitely nothing wrong with the kind of play you see there. He's got the Midas. He is playing a fairly greedy CM, but kind of like what he's done for his team as far as just making space, playing very aggressive, and just scouting out heroes.
Lina also has been making plenty of space, and I think we saw this even earlier. Now this time Juggernaut does have a team in nearby an Oracle, and there is no Bat Rider, so yeah, nothing's going to come of it. In fact, they're all going to group up almost if his smoke is coming out, and there we go.
Yep.
I think it was seen. Nope.
No more Aegis. Let's go.
The pipe delivered to Omni Knight as well.
Got a trail of fire they could try and follow.
The Bat Rider up here. He's got a blink though, and is going to be spotted, or they know he's in the vicinity at least. And there we go. Fortune's End comes out. Gonna try for a TP. That ain't working though. Heals near to stop, and they eventually kill. Now he does have a buyback.
That was the problem we saw in the last game. Sanking your only stun, it's very easy to TP away from stuff, but that's actually something nice about the Yules this game. So I think the Corpse Shield is actually totally fine. You have Yules as a disable, a setup, Lincoln's against the Bat Rider. All the items kind of make sense, even if it is very defensive. It kind of is just going to be Corp has to spend more time farming. She's a great late game hero, so no reason not to farm more.
Yeah.
But Bat Rider dead. They've got a 20-second window where they're actually at the base here. And Bat does not want to. It's so awful when you're like 15 seconds away from respawning. You don't want to use it, but at the same time, if you don't, you're going to have to glyph. You're probably losing. You're going to lose your tier 3 tower here, and then they'll back off. Most likely is what's going to happen because Bat does not want to buy back.
Well, they're trying to finish the job, but actually,
they won't get it.
Yeah, it is going to be enough.
Just enough with the glyph. don't think they want to go back in now that the lasso is back online. They may just buy time for another roach or something.
Well, double damage here, going to spawn at the bottom. That was pinged out by TnC, so just waiting for Juggernaut to pick it up. As he does so right there.
Yep. Well, close to an Orchid. I think this is probably the one item of hers that maybe is most surprising to me so far. It just feels like the BKB on the 2 cores and Razor and Lina don't care about this. Definitely helps as far as killing the Bat or the Earth Spirit, but it just seems like a item pickup that doesn't do a whole lot. As far as the late game goes, it's great. Bloodthorn as a 6-slotted co-op item is definitely one you want to have.
Yeah.
But I think going straight into, I don't know, like the Octarine Mjolnir type build may have been another option, but we'll see how it works out.
See a Bat Rider jumping on Oracle. The Pearl Strike doesn't hit the Bat Rider, but it hits the other 3 Yos. Guardian Angel comes out. So Oracle going to live for the time being. The false promise on himself as well. Crystal made it picked off in the midst of it. That was Cuckoo jumping in with the Sonic Wave. So BKB popped by Lina though as he's running away. The Omni Slash bouncing over. Earth Spirit's getting very low. The Shriney is going to keep people alive. The Earth Spirit's still alive himself as Omni Knight's now with a run against Xeonox here. And yep, he will eventually be finished off over the back lines. Cuckoo now surviving himself as Lina. Plenty of life to work with. Omni Knight already picked off. The spin from Juggernaut. Now he's going to need to spin away. Oracle is here, but no false promise. Bonus match stuns him as well. And Oracle's going to fall on top of that. Cuckoo, the last man standing for TnC. And he'll blink out. He was able to get the kill onto Lina at least. But Geek Fam, another fight won by them. The Shrine is definitely coming into play there as well.
Wow. Whew. What a turnaround for them. That was such a big fight for them to win. Queen of Pain does survive, who is still like that big carry, but we're really seeing this potential for the Razor to be a late game threat. He is just so tough to deal with on the front lines, the defusal against the GA, ensuring that he can secure some of these kills. And Geek Fam showing some real potential with the late game potency of their draft. This Lina is starting to get pretty scary as well, even though she dies there, manages to kind of have that fast respawn, the boots to travel in, and is still scaling pretty well into this late game as well. And they're going to get another Aegis, another time.
Yeah.
It feels like they've only won 2 team fights all game, but both team fights they've won,
Get that Aegis.
get them a Roche.
This one's going to be a nice little cheese on top of it.
This one may be a bit dicier, though, because respawns are coming and Roche is not dropping fast enough.
That is true, and they are going to fall back.
If they'd gone that Roche, that would have been huge. This would have been like a maybe even Geek Fan favorite game. Instead, TnC are back alive. They managed to get in there to stop the Roche from happening. If they secure Roche, then you've got to worry about the high ground.
Oh, the reactions there of Raji. Stays alive as a result. Blinks away. Repel on Queen of Pain. Leads to a dangerous target. So she's going to be fine too. But yeah, you know they would love to finish off Roshan here. He's healed up a little bit, but Juggernaut's going to check it out at least and start putting in the damage. His teammates kind of boxing out for him.
I'm not going crazy, am I? Do you see the Earth Spirit? He's still got a gem in his stash?
You are right,
Okay,
yeah.
I feel like that's been there for like 15 minutes.
That has to be an oversight at this point, right?
Yeah,
Like there's no way there's any strap behind it.
Your Bat may as well be carrying that one for the vision control. Maybe he just recently put it back after dewarding, but
Perhaps. Oh, Bat Rider's caught, though. The Sonic Wave does reach him and gets the kill.
that should secure Roche. Without the Initiator, fighting this Roche is so difficult without Lasso, but
They don't want to give it up.
could buy back and TP in. That's a risky play. If you do that and Bat dies, you just lose the game. So
True.
I mean, that's a call like it's hard to make in the moment. There's no right or wrong answer. If you can win the fight off a Bat buyback and get Roche yourself, it's worth it. If you lose the fight, you lose the game, and obviously it's not worth it. So it's the safer, lower risk option, but an option that now puts yourself in a position where you've got to defend your high ground against Aegis and Cheese.
It's almost like Earth Spirit heard you right there, because actually that gem, well, it was just in his inventory, and now it's actually on the courier. So
Okay, so it seems like he's toggling it back and forth, maybe.
that is a
Giving
possibility
it to
there.
the Bat. See soon enough.
Repel, put on Juggernaut. But he's still taking some good physical damage, of course, from Razor. In the end, though, he'll be fine. That was a Lincoln's also applied to him.
Yeah, it definitely helps him siege high ground. Doesn't have to worry about the lasso as much. And, yeah, fall back, take the shrines. You've got a lot of time to play around this Aegis with, so no need to rush things if you're TnC. Wait for another good pick-off or a clean initiation if possible, but GeekFam actually leaving their base to threaten this bottom lane, it looks like, but they're not going to get too far out.
So Lina, why Daedalus over the Bloodthorn, if that's what he ends up going for?
Quap has Lincolns and Yules. Jug has Manta, so Omni has Greaves. All 3 cores can get out of the silence, I guess is the main reason.
Okay.
But both are just good right-click damage items. The Daedalus is better from long range. The Bloodthorn, you kind of have to get in a bit closer to use some of the time, and Lena, you just may want to sit back, don't have to worry about using items, just right-click as much as possible. But
get back right here. And that she does, as does her teammates. She actually pushed to the top lane. The rest kind of sticking around in the area, although Batrider's now porting out, so for good reason.
Jug, second Lincolns, one of those things where you want to ruin a Batrider's late game, you just stack like 3-4 Lincoln spheres, and it's very difficult to be able to rely on that lasso as an initiation. Even if someone pops the Lincolns, then maybe a teammate reapplies it. It's very, very annoying.
And they're going to finish off the last round, enshrined right here at least, outside of the base. So now Geek Fam, you thought their vision was pretty difficult already. It's just going to get that much worse as far as map control goes. And they stalled this ward in this area that was not counted earlier, so that's proven to be a pretty good value ward for the side of Geek Fam at least, but going to have to find themselves defending their base because you got to figure what that age is still. That if you're TnC, you want to really try to siege and break some racks right here. Not just settle for the tier 3 tower. And Oracle's in the front lines at least right now, scouting it out somewhat. Omni-Knight, he's working on finishing a Shiva's guard actually as well. It's pretty farmed, man.
Yep. Anything to just tank up, help against the Razor. The Razor's the biggest problem so much. I mean, even Alina, it's physical damage, so Shiva's slow some of that attack speed, get some extra armor. Seems like a good call.
Wow, Raven just running after Razor with the repel, and the false promise coming out right there. That was going to save for now. Like the lasso brings Omni-Knight actually. No Guardian Angel. He goes down actually. 68 seconds. He's staying dead. Sonic Wave only really hit the Earth Spirit. Now they chase out at the side of Geek Fam in favor of them. As the link's been up this whole time on Juggernaut, up to 200 plus damage. Eventually gets broken right there, but Rose goes down as well. Man, another case they just cannot break through.
That was a great initiation from Velo. Batrider so quick on the grab and then the force stuff back. You've got this.
Whoa.
Whoa. That's unexpected.
They're landing.
Yeah. Bye-bye power or bye-bye internet. One of the two just happened, I guess.
Yeah.
To them. Not to us. I see our production crew look at us like, what's going on?
You know, that was the team there.
Very good. Yeah, when you have this Oracle, who you kind of picked Oracle after the bat, like, hey, let's kind of Batrider's lasso. We've got false promise, but if Bat's fast with his force staff and perhaps even like a team's force as well. On top of that, CM has one. Your range on that false promise couldn't protect you, so that was very well played by Geek Fam to defend their high ground, not lose their axe, and there is still Aegis in Queen of Pain's. Oh no, there is an Aegis in Queen of Pain's hands. That's now down. Oh, sorry, there's Aegis in Jug's hands.
Yeah.
But by the time these heroes respawn, that Aegis is going to be pretty much donezo. So no real way to go for another high ground push with Aegis. It's going to be a game that extends a bit further into the late game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, by the time they're resurrected, it's not something they're going to be able to get the value of, unfortunately. So we got to give the credit to Geek Fam, though. It's a couple of holds now at their base, even though they eventually lost tier 3 towers, of course, or the one tier 3. They're saving the racks, and they're making a statement that this game's definitely not over. And we stressed out Lena is working on that Daedalus and how impactful that could prove to be as far as sitting back and right-clicking. And if Batrider's able to get catches like that in fights, this Omni-Knight really is that prime target, then who knows what can happen as far as this game goes. I mean, TnC still continues to have the lead, and that hasn't been different this whole game. But
yeah. A 6K lead at 20 minutes in compared to a 6K lead at 41 minutes in, very, very different story. That's where the farm discrepancy between the carries is much smaller than it used to be, as far as an overall percent, and that's also just gonna be scary when these Geek Fam heroes start hitting like some of their late game peaks. Lena's level 25 talent, making her more of a scary right click carry. Same for the Razor with that plus 14 static link damage that we normally see. So in the other game, there are 25 similar on TnC's. Quap, one of the best in the game with spell lifesteal. Likely we'll see like a Mjolnir, Octarine as her next two items, or at least the Mjolnir, the Octarine less of a necessity. Jugs is like Jugs, the Blade Fury damage could be pretty good this game against the Razor. Since you're getting your damage sucked out, you can actually do some magic damage. Might be pretty nice, but all in all, I feel like Geek Fam are going to get stronger a lot faster than TnC will as this game drags on a bit.
I think an important game for these two teams. Both do come in with that 1-0 record, if I'm not mistaken there. So whose first loss will this be? Well, TnC is looking like, again, they were very strong in the earlier parts of this game, but have not been able to really get over that edge. And Geek Fam, as a result, not only staying alive, but giving themselves a good shot, as God's just getting at right there. Still waiting on the pause. Unfortunately, it looks like all DC'd, and you just kind of hope that we see that reconnect here shortly.
Yeah.
And the sign of at least they're back, but
some other games going on if you guys want to check them out. Happy Feet are playing against Moogle. That's over on one of the other BTS streams. The EGG SEA hub broadcasting those games from Malaysia.
Looks like Moogle's ahead in that one, at least hero kill wise.
Yep.
31-21 there.
Pretty good. Happy Feet started things off. They had a loss in that opening game against the Drow Strats.
Yep.
So they're two teams that both need wins, I feel, considering they're not really favored to be in that top 3, top 4, so they need to get whatever wins they can get.
Yeah. And that would be, you know, Happy Feet especially coming off that LAN performance that they just had at the Galaxy Battles right there, which, again, was overall not the greatest for them, but
yeah.
Qualifying for it in the first place, it definitely had to feel good. But as you mentioned, losing to Geek Fam earlier, and that would be another tough one right there, starting out 0-2. Definitely don't want to be doing that, so keep an eye on that result. And I'm going to assume that Fnatic won the earlier game. I don't know for sure, but that would be interesting to get the results on that one too. But it did seem like that Fnatic actually was trying to pull away a little bit.
They were. It was like they were losing. They were down like 5K. They had heroes that didn't match up well, but then they won a few fights, made some plays, and I think they were actually up 4 racks. So I'm like 95% sure they won that game.
Yeah.
And they'll probably look. I mean, they're 2-0. I was giving Fnatic some slack earlier about like some of their picks and their play. I mean, they should be beating a team like Skate Masters more convincingly, but the results are still there for them as they are definitely fighting for one of those top spots.
That's what matters in the end. So the W.
Okay, first player is reconnected. That's a good sign, meaning they should all follow. There we go.
There we go. It's begun. Got 3 more, then hopefully they go ahead.
That's going to be such a scary feeling as a team. Like, you're playing for TI, and then suddenly, like, either your internet or your power goes out. You're just going to be, like, it stresses you out when you're already playing. You're 41 minutes into a game that's stressful, and then suddenly you've got, like, some outside influence adding additional stress.
Yeah.
That is not what you want to have to experience in the heat of one of the biggest games for today for TnC.
Absolutely. And, well, speaking of that, be the biggest match here of these qualifiers, again, TnC versus Faceless, will be the final match of today for Southeast Asia. It's going to be the last one there.
That sounds juicy.
Yeah, good way to finish off Southeast Asia. But again, by finish off Southeast Asia, don't let that fool you in terms of there's still plenty of other Dota going on, as we were talking about earlier with the panel. Of course, the European region starting here very shortly, and then we advance on from there. With all the other regions into NA, into CIS, of course, in South America.
I believe after this game might be switching over to Europe. I guess maybe depend a bit when we actually wrap things up.
Yes, 100% sure. But yeah, right now that looks like that could be the case. Yeah. But obviously, yeah, we'll let you guys know as soon as we are done with this one. You take a look at the hot hub TI machine, as we're technically calling it here. We've been having some fun. We've had the fun stream. In fact, I want to say that's on Beyond the Summit 2.
Yep.
Not mistaken. So that's always going on. If you want to pull that up as well, or check that out if you haven't yet. But we had that on the main stream earlier today, and that's going to be happening throughout this event as a whole. But it's just been a fun atmosphere here, and you see right there.
Luby dishing out some trash talk. That's what that was.
That puzzle bubble game, man. Yeah. Has definitely drawn in people. Amazing how these older games here.
So, but back in
what's the rush timer?
Yeah, so Theban reconnects, and the first thing he asks is, "What's the roach timer?" We don't have it anymore because you reconnect, you can't scroll up the chat to see those roach timers. Will Geek Fam help him out? You know? says, but I mean, if you're Geek fam, it's just like, oh, good guy, sexy Bambo. He gives it to them.
Is that actually the time, though? See? You see what I did there?
Ooh.
Wouldn't that be something?
It is, though, yeah. That's a minute and like 20 seconds away from Broche.
Okay.
Yeah, Steven gives it a thing. That's some good sportsmanship from Bambo. I mean, I wouldn't have blamed it if they just stayed quiet. It's definitely doesn't fall upon them that their opponents DC'd and had technical issues.
Yeah, that's definitely not their fault either, but you know, the good manager's kicking in, so it's nice to give them the information there. We're slowly reconnecting in. Usually doesn't take this long.
Tense moment for the teams, the players, and we'll see how things do play out as all 10 players are back in.
There we go. All right. They're good to go. So they got the...
Enjoying that music, man.
Yeah, I know. Bring the music.
I do like the sound of DOTA.
They're all right, I guess.
This
Very
game
good.
starts to get interesting as Psionics hits level 25 soon on Razor. He has Skadi soon. He gets a lot scarier with the Static Link 25 talent, as well as this Skadi gives him a ton of stats to work around. So we'll see some pretty scary late game stuff from this Dire side.
Is that a BKB on Batrider? Yeah, that's just about finished right here.
Triple BKBs.
There you go.
This'll come in handy.
For this Quap Bloodthorn seems like an odd item pickup. Similarly, though, you go Mjolnir, like you're not doing lightning damage to BKBs, but I don't know. Just feels like this Quap build hasn't fully come together to like carry this game. Yeah, Quap's 8, 2, and 12 has done fantastic, but some of these items just don't feel like the perfect item for this scenario.
Yeah.
This Aegis on Raven will be expiring in about 15 seconds time, as he has been informed. Just looking to regain the last little bit of map control, do some dewarding probably with this Queen of Pain gem, but there is almost no wards up on this map right now due to the presence of these gems.
Yeah, they got a 4 staff now coming out of Earth Spirit, so they have her, they have, or Earth Spirit's case him, they got Crystal Maiden picking one up as well. Obviously, Batrider having one of his own, so the 4 staff, and then the Hurricane Pike on Razor. So, 4 different, and 4 of the 5 heroes all have that way to, you know, push your teammates or even enemies in, if it calls for it. Definitely nice to have, you know, the idea of the Batrider jumping in, and the Mass 4 staff could be fun.
I think the key thing for TnC is using their 4 staffs to break the static link. If they don't do that, they're in a whole lot of trouble. They've got 2, and I honestly think the second one gets static link, double 4 staff, get them the hell out of there. That static link at 25 is insane. Not something to be messed around with.
Queen of Pain pushing out the middle, but a very delicate game right now, as you would expect. What's going on right here? And look what Batrider has queued up now. It's obviously going to be a while before he would be able to get it, but an Aghanim's.
It's a good way to bypass the Lincolns because you can lasso someone next to the hero with Lincolns and then they still get grabbed. It's part of the mentality in this item. It's also just a good way to grab 2 heroes, so either way, you're pretty happy.
Daedalus almost finished by Geek Fam. Or by Teehee, that is. Not Geek Fam.
Probably want to say buyback at this stage. Even the Razor may consider buyback over finishing a Skadi. The Razor is probably a bit harder to bring down and burst in Alina, but definitely a stage of the game where one death on a hero, core hero without buyback would be disastrous.
Butterfly being worked on by Juggernaut. So with this right click getting one more deadlier from the Dire side, a Butterfly with the evasion. Potentially is going to be pretty strong.
Definitely not a bad choice. Razor not going to have MKB for quite some time. Does complete the Skadi. I mentioned like this is a hero that doesn't need the buyback as much because I mean, are you really killing this Razor? It's not very likely to happen unless the fight goes horribly wrong, and in that case you've got bigger issues than Razor having buyback in game 5.
Darn, Queen of Pain with the 70% lifesteal. I was hoping this would be the game.
For the AoE. it sounds so cool. Like, anytime I'm playing a pub, I'm like, oh, I want to get this so bad. But if it's a close game, I'm like, can't.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, triple BKB. What's that Shadow Strike gonna do? Here they come. They get the jump.
Jump here. They get Earth Spirit. There's 1 4 staff. There's 2 4 staffs. And is the 3rd one? Sure. Why not? A 3rd one's coming in. That Bloodthorn isn't enough.
I think
the
that
dot,
Shadow Strike
it's not.
close.
Wow. Batrider goes in. He finds the last one. What's going to Omni-Knight, but the immediate false promise this time.
Yeah, he barely got to. He just kept rolling himself back to base. Got down to like 40 HP. No kills. That is the Oracle in action there, and the 4 staff usage, fantastic as well.
Yeah, using 3 of the 4 4 staffs there.
Yep. Lena's actually, I didn't actually notice Lena earlier picked up the Dragon Lance, going for some super long range attacks. Say that, she gets caught out at top.
And then she's like, all right, you want to fight? Let's go at it. But this buys time now for Queen of Pain to come in. Possibly Khabib is going to go toe-to-toe. Hope for the RNG to kick in right here. Sonic Wave in the face, and it's not going to be enough. That was a very ballsy play by Teehee.
Nice.
Did not get the crits.
Well played by Tim's, just stuns, buys time, poses himself as a potential kill to the Lena just to kind of keep her there rather than she could have just like tried to just run away, because if soon as she Shadow Blades into trees, it's hard for the Queen of Pain to know for sure where she went, but by keeping her in place made it easier to get the catch.
Pushing out the middle. If anything, you want to force that buyback. 40 seconds before she's up. There's plenty of a window here.
Razor alone may be enough to defend, though.
Oh, no.
Oh, that is not. He doesn't have buyback.
No, he does not. I was going to say,
though.
God, just using it all in succession, and he will be fine.
That's Omni/Slash down. I think they can't even force buyback anymore now. Definitely very annoying interaction with that, the force slash and the Omni/Slash. If you like, I mean, there's like a timing between slash hits where you can actually disjoint the Omni/Slash, and with double force up, it becomes even easier to disjoint it.
Yeah, I've heard about that, and right there, obviously coming into play. So, but again, the 4 staffs across the board have proved to be such good value for Geek fans. Obviously, now back-to-back fights.
It's one of the better items for its price point in Dota. I think what it does in late game Dota, it's definitely like quote-unquote OP for its price, but you know every team can buy it, so
yeah,
everyone's on an even playing field.
It's OP together. Roshan, it's going to be killed, and that's another cheese, another Aegis. So this time, can they actually make the push with it?
Let's see what they can do. Jug with the Aegis will have the confidence probably to fully buy out his Butterfly, although it's a bit slot limited. We'll have to drop his Blink or Phase Boots, whatever that may be.
There's a Maelstrom finished by Queen of Pain. There's Shiva's picked up by Omni Knight. And he mentioned the Wing Bow for the Butterfly.
We're going to be seeing a lot of level 25s at this rate this game. Even stuff like the Omni's 25 very likely. Bat doesn't... Bat maybe. CM is actually high, very high level. Level 20 CM goes for the freezing field damage over the GPM. I actually kind of like this. With the BKB, there's nothing really to cancel this. Omni/Slash could theoretically pose to kill the CM. Same for like the Sonic Wave, but the CM could do a lot of damage with a freezing field.
Yeah, I think the argument too, it's, I mean, sure, always more gold still is going to be nice, but is it really that item now with the BKB that he really wants? I mean, I guess Blink wouldn't be bad to have either, but...
It's one of those things where I'm like, anytime I play LSCM, anytime I get this level 20, I'm just like, yeah, GPM, sure, you're support, you always go GPM, but you're actually exactly right there. If you've already farmed a BKB with your Midas, why get more GPM? What item actually makes you scary as a CM? You can get nags, you can do some more damage, you can get the frostbite and all that, but realistically, you're about doing max damage during BKB.
There's that Blink/4 staff away as the static link goes up, as you mentioned. Queen of Pain is dead for 98 seconds. No buyback. The distraction is real. You know, they were smoked up. That definitely must have caught Queen of Pain off guard right there. As a team, she got jumped by something. Was watching the interaction in the middle lane, and sure enough, she goes down to Omni Knight. He's also going to get caught, pushed away right there. You got the kill, though, onto Oracle in the back lines, and they're also going to be able to pick off Sand King.
No one is buyback.
And they all do not have buyback. You're right. That's ridiculous.
Oh my gosh.
But can they really capitalize is the question. The creepers are all the way pushing their base.
It's still a pretty big death timers at this stage with level 25s. They'll have to push out top as well. They should be able to get at least the tier 2s, maybe even a tier 3 and some shrines. See how they fare. This is definitely starting to feel like a scary game for TnC.
Oh, I was going to say maybe if a double damage rune spawns, and sure enough, especially with the double rune, the bottom rune is double damage. Lena picks it up.
Definitely a nice little rune. They've still got 40 seconds. That's plenty of time to take tier 2, probably tier 3, even more on the Sand King.
You got to wonder how, like, what's the chances they know that they don't have buybacks, right?
They don't know. They actually expect the buybacks. They're thinking we're either want to force buybacks, or they may also just think, like, a tier 3 tower for... I mean, Hope probably doesn't want buyback to defend a tier 3 tower anyways. They're going to glyph it. But the big thing is here, don't die. Don't let Batrunner Lasso get any additional kills. Raven does have the Lincoln, as well as the Repel, so he's pretty safe. But they're going to get
Jeez. They get the first racks of the game. That's insane.
Raven actually blinking in with the clock respawn.
Wow, he's really confident. But yeah, with Queen of Pain coming back up, feels good. But there goes that static link, and look at it adding up. 168 plus damage, and pops the BKB. The lasso catches Oracle again. He is staying in as well. The Sonic Wave, but there's so many BKB targets and everything. They're just not taking enough damage. The Omni/Slash is bouncing around now. The Guardian Angel helping to save Omni Knight for the time being. But Juggernaut is now stunned up in the back lines. He got the kill to Earth Spirit, but at what cost? He goes down. The Aegis is going to bring him back up, however. Meanwhile, Omni Knight trying to live. Pops his try, and Lena could not finish the job. Razor goes down, and now Teehee on Razor has to avoid. LSA stuns on the Queen of Pain. Goes for the poured out with the Shadow Play. That ain't going to work. And that's a complete wipeout in favor of TnC. They do defend. no buybacks even needed.
Good play and call from Raven. He knows, okay, you're going to get out melee racks. I'm going to blink in after you and try and punish you on the retreat. Geek fam, rather than just like maybe sacrificing, they could just sacrifice 1 or 2. They say, let's turn and fight. The big thing is there, like, it starts out well for the Razor. He's going to static link on a Blade Stream Jug, which means he can't force half away, but he gets baited in because of that. And now they're going to have to chew through buybacks themselves. This is a big gold investment just to try and defend your base and prevent TnC from taking multiple lanes.
Oh, there was backdoor protection there for a while. That could be the difference maker. So, and the Rax going to stay alive for now. Ooh, Juggernaut.
They're going to go for another lane, I feel like. Razor does not want to buy back, but he might have to.
Yeah, without Razor and Batrider, those are like the 2 really scary heroes for them as far as these team fights go. So, yeah, they're basically making a point. You either buy back on one of those, if not both, or we're just going to keep going. And there we go. They do blink. They buy back on Razor. Lotus Orb protecting Queen of Pain. Going to be fine for now. In fact, Earthspear going to be silenced out. The Shrine's going to save him, though, as the Onyx is not going to chase too far. BKB activated. Going to wear off pretty quickly, though.
That's this BKB freezing field. They're just kiting around it. You can't do anything to stop it. Well, we're just going to run away. We're not going to take damage from it.
Well, Static Link will kind of screw over Queen of Pain right here. The lasso as well. The False Promise, though, comes out with the heal. And Queen of Pain not doing a lot of damage, though, unfortunately, because of that Static Link, but she'll live.
If they get kills here.
Oh, the Epicenter Razor would be a big kill. That would be a dieback on the Omni side. Chases him down. That is a dieback on a Razor. Dead for 105 seconds. And Cuckoo, he wants more. Damn it, he may just get more. Sexy Bambo goes down, and Teehee would be the prime target as well. She goes down, and that should do it. TnC comes back. After what looked like for in the last 5 minutes here, could have been their downfall. And they get GG's goals.
That was...
Oh, whoa, that was an offensive GG. Oh, wow.
Bambo did that. It's a disaster. Yeah, that's it. It looked like Bambo kind of GG'd out. That's fair. But yeah, they're gonna fall back, maybe take some racks. They go creeps here. 4 heroes without buyback. They're gonna go through tier 4s now. I don't think punishment will come from it. These old chat will be a bit confusing.
Yeah.
And I don't think there is the defense left. The lasso into the fountain. Batrider is actually creep skipping. He's trying to get the backdoor protection. It's not working. Backdoor protection is not there. If he had got backdoor protection on, they theoretically could have actually held the game, but did not succeed in doing so.
Might as well make an attempt right there, but yeah, TnC wins that, but that has to be one of those